Clutching up wins in Warzone 2 can be very tough, and I know that a lot of you struggle with what exactly to do when it comes down to those last few teams. So today, we're going to be breaking down a perfect endgame scenario here that my teammate and I had. Oh, and by the way, the Lion King reference, I promise I'll explain that to you in a second. But starting off here, it's important to note that we were in one of those mid-games where the circle split. So we have 3.5 minutes here until that circle is fully back together. Unfortunately, my teammate that I was actually playing with, TCap, went down, and the random teammate that we're playing with is full dead here. So right in this moment, guys, I'm just trying to see if this guy's going to go loot or maybe he tries to challenge me, the enemy that killed TCap, because he just died. And I'm just trying to see what that guy's going to do. He ends up not pushing at all. So when we talk about rotations, I think the important thing to understand in my whole thought process, especially during endgame, is I always want to be the person that is holding teams out of circle. A lot of you get caught rotating late or rotating out in the open, and you're the one that I am sitting on top of a hill or in a building just shooting at, and there's nothing that you can actually do. That's because I decided to rotate early, and we'll see that here in a second. One of the other tips that I'll give you is vehicles are a great option, guys. Two main reasons. One, it gives you a ton of cover. You don't have to worry about rotating out in the open or rotating on foot. The other thing is it allows you to get from point A to point B much quicker. It allows you to get into circle easier and really figure out which position you want to take. Now, right here, I'm just trying to hold people that might be rotating. Now, it does dawn on me that I've got 2.5 minutes, and it's going to be a while before I even potentially hold anybody. So as I'm starting to rotate over, TCap wins his goosh. So, okay, let's pause here for a second. TCap might actually be able to land on his stuff here. Instead of him having to try to find a floor loot gun, maybe a 3-play vest, maybe some ammo, and us kind of being at half strength here because I've got loadout guns and all that stuff, let's go ahead and protect his stuff while he gets it, and then we can figure out where we want to rotate. Now, I knew that he died somewhere from over here, and I'm just trying to watch over him as he's getting his stuff, but we're going to go ahead and rotate here in a second, and I started this video here because this is a crucial part of this game. Him being able to get his stuff back really helped us actually win. Now we're going to go ahead and take the cargo truck and we're going to rotate here. Now when we talk about, positioning and stuff, I always talk about three main things. If you've been subscribed to me for a while and you have been getting better at end games, I always talk about three things. In circle is the most important. That's an obvious one. With cover, then you talk about power position. Then we really talk about a building or, the high ground that everybody always mentions. And I'll tell you exactly why. Here is your Lion King reference right here. Real quick, notice the buyback up ahead at this buy station, so we can't exactly rotate there to get our teammate back. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get him back. We're not going to oversell to get him back either. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, right there, this is where I have the Lion King reference because we are going to focus on this rock right here. As they always say in Lion King, basically when they're standing on the top, right, everything that the light touches is theirs. Well, everything that we're going to be able to see on top of this hill right here, we're going to be able to understand where people are rotating from. So we're going to be in circle and we're going to have high ground right here. Now, go back to what I said. Three things, right? In circle, with cover, then your high ground. So even though we're up here, we've got to be careful because what you're going to see here is I want you to notice this sniper, right? Now, if this guy downs me right here, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he hits the shot. I still have cover to revive. But what I also want you to know is look back behind me. Look how exposed I am from my back. So I have to be aware from that. I have to be aware of two main things. Where can people rotate from? And where do I know that people actually are? I know that people are down the hill over here, so we got to keep that in mind. And people can be rotating from Saeed City where we actually were. So I'm expecting people to be rotating up from this side, and we've got to constantly have our head on a swivel and be paying attention and processing that information to understand, okay, like we've got to be careful of those people so that we don't get completely flanked. Now, right here, we're going to give up a little bit of our high ground, and we're going to play together, and I'm going to use my car as cover right here to go challenge these guys. This is where the car is a massive advantage. It gives me a ton of cover, so as I get out, I'm going to park it, and then I'm just going to chill right here. I'm in a really good spot to challenge some enemies here. I see one flying back this way, and then I push up just a little bit, and then I'm like, no, let's back off for a second. Let's back up. Let's play our cover here so that we don't get caught out in the open. Because look, guys, in this scenario right here, if I get shot, there's nothing I can do. TCap can't help me. I'm not going to be able to self-revive, and then I'm leaving TCap out to dry. So I'm actually going to play the top of the cargo truck right here. And this top of the cargo truck gives me everything that I need. I get high alerted, it gives me cover to drop down. Now I know there's one over here. We're able to get that down, and most importantly, we're able to get that thirst. Guys, thirsts are going to be crucial during endgame because by this point, a lot of people are going to have one, if not two, self-revives stocked up. Now, as I take the car to rotate, we see one to the left, and I'm going to end up catching one rotating right here. And I know that TCAP is in a bad spot, so I hop out right here, and even though I missed some shots, we're still able to finally get that down and save TCAP. There's the down. There's the thirst. There's the other guy that I'm just going to scare. I'm just trying to scare him and buy TCAP enough time to be able to self-revive. Notice that we gave up our high ground, and all of a sudden, we're kind of in a fight for our lives right here. We're kind of stuck in a bad spot, and I still have zero idea where this guy went. You're going to see where he went in a second. I get high alerted there. I have absolutely no idea where this guy disappeared to. This guy was Houdini and kind of put us in a little bit of a tough spot. By the way, the other thing that I will give you tip-wise is pay attention to how many teams are left. It's not really super important right now. Basically, right now, we've got 26 other enemies. That's way too many to keep track of, but you'll see how we use that to our advantage towards the end game and how we use the information that we have based on how many people are left to make a decision about whether to rotate late, where to rotate to, do we rotate early, how do we get to that spot? So that guy ended up taking the truck. I don't know how he looped all the way around to get the truck, but now he kind of puts us in a bad spot. We were able to get that knock right there with the RPK. I'll put that build down in the comments. By the way, guys, real quick, as we're fighting that guy and the guy in the truck, if you are looking to get better, just consider subscribing below. I'm a 3+ KD player. I don't know how many wins I have at this point, but my whole goal is just to help you improve as a Warzone 2 player. I do videos just about every single day, basically going over anything that I can think of. So if you are looking to improve, just make sure you are subscribed. Let's go and talk about clutching up. This guy did a really good trick right here. That's good sometimes, but notice he chucks the truck. He just lets the truck roll. I get a little bit confused because I thought this was TCAP actually diving out of the way, but he did a really good job of getting out of the truck. TCAP's just right there. It doesn't work with two people out in the open, but if it's one guy, a lot of people tend to follow the truck, and then, you know, whatever, then you can kill them. But immediately what we're thinking about right here, let's go back to what I said, right? Where can people rotate from? We've got 7 other teams left. I'm guessing that there are people on this side of the map. The circle's still very big. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to our rock right here. We're going to slowly work our way up. We're going to clear our right side as we go and almost pinwheel in just a little bit. We're not full pinwheeling here, which is when you follow the gas around and pinwheel all the way in, which basically clears everything in front of you. That's the goal of pinwheeling. So right here, we're just trying to clear, and we're going to go ahead and then get up to the top of the rock here. Let's go ahead and fast forward. Let's go ahead and speed this up just a touch. We're going to fight our way up to the top. We get shot from a guy down there, so there's one team that we know, but we kind of knew there were teams down there already. We're finally up to the top of the rock. Okay, here we go. So TCAP's got a sniper. That's important to note. We're going to live ping right there. This is going to be a tough challenge when this guy has a sniper and I've got an RPK. But what TCAP can do is if TCAP hits him and I'm able to get the down, then we can go in and get the thirst. So that's where we are communicating. We're team shotting. I'm live pinging and say, hey, this guy over here. By the way, how many kills does TCAP have right here? I want to take note of this because he finishes with a ton. He's able to pick up a lot. So I think our teammate had 12, which was, I feel bad because we just couldn't get him back, but he ends up getting the win out of it. TCAP has 9 right here. So we've got 39 kills as a squad, and I've got 18 with 7 other teams left, and I know that there are people over here. So when we talk about in circle, we're still in circle with cover. Now we actually have a decent amount of cover here based on where people are rotating from, and most importantly, power position. This is going to be our power position right here. We can see a lot of what is going on above us, or sorry, below us, and that puts us in a really good spot. But in cover, or with cover is the most important thing, as I mentioned earlier. Once again, live ping right there. TCAP, I believe, gets this down. I break. He gets the down, so he snags that kill. It is what it is, guys. I'm focused on the win right here. We've already picked up a bunch of kills. We're going to drop a very high kill game as a trio right here, and that's the whole goal. High kill wins as a squad. Your games with individual kills will come. Now, back to this. Notice that there's less teams now, right? Few teams died out. We're at 5 teams, 11 other people. We 100% know that there are people down here. I also want you to work to start to think about where people might be. When you look at this circle, if I were to ask you, do you think, this is a little bit of foreshadowing, but do you think there's a team in this building right here? Based on the fact that there are 5 teams left, you know that there's nobody on this side of the map because we really cleared that well previously. Do you think there's a team in this building? My guess is going to be yes. So what I end up doing is I rotate down just a little bit. This is what I call a no down situation. Right here, we get another really good circle pull, which is a little bit of the RNG factor, right? It's a little bit of the luck factor when it comes to these end games. I've been in plenty of situations where we don't get the circle pull, but this is a no down situation. If I go down in this moment right here, TCAP is still I've got self-revive, so I may not be full killed, but it puts us in a little bit of a tougher spot because then teams start to rotate. So you got to be careful of when you have power position and you are kind of waiting to hold people out of circle, which I don't see anybody right there. I thought it might have been, so I tried to get the live ping. If I live ping there, I know that's an enemy. If I don't get a live ping, then I obviously know it's not. But what I see is one actually in this building slightly over to the right. So just based on where people could be, I'm guessing that there's going to be somebody in there. Now, I end up seeing Sniper Glint here in a second, which really gives it away his position. Yep, I see him right there. I see Sniper Glint. And notice I back off because this is a no down situation. The moment that I go down here, if I do, we lose a little bit of that momentum, a little bit of that power position because it gives them a window to act. Or they precision me and then it's just down to TCAP to clutch. So this is a no down scenario right here. Down to 3 teams and 8 other people. 8 other people. Notice I don't catch him rotating in or anything. And in this moment, I thought they might have been trying to push up. That's why I threw the snapshot, not realizing that there is a cave right down below us. So they are fighting in that cave down below. We're down to 2 other teams, 7 other people. So just do the math right here. It's very clearly us 2 versus a team of 4 versus a team of 3. And we were in unhinged trios, by the way. That's why there's a team of 4. But that's important to take note of, especially I would say when you guys have 5 teams, you want to be taking note of like how many players are actually left and where those teams could be. I'm guessing just based on this circle, just based on where this circle is, there's no buildings in play. Both of these teams have to be below us, right? We've got control over this top area. And we're watching the backside. We're just covering here to make sure, one last check to say, okay, is anybody flanking with gas? They can make gas plays. They can, by the way, I heard the precision here and I said, I hear the planes coming in. I have absolutely no idea where this is going to go. This is why I was just like, I just paused and I'm like, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. And then TCAP and I just hold still. I'm like, hey, this is going to hit right between us. Just chill for a second. So we see circle pull. Now we know they're below us, right? We've already cleared up top. Let's go ahead. We know where the last 2 teams are for the most part. Let's go ahead and rotate early here. TCAP's going to make a great comm. This is his play 100%. He said, let's rotate early to this rock right here. And now we're in a great spot. Now we are in a very good position once again because we have cover, because we have that high ground to the point where we can hide behind these rocks if we need to. We are in circle here. We're dead smack in the middle circle. We know exactly where they are, and we've got our power position. So at this point, it's simply on us to execute. Not sure if you saw it, but I did right in about this moment that we've got 1 other team, 4 other people. So we know that we are in a 2v4 situation, and they have to rotate right to us. Once again, got to be very careful, but TCAP's going to play it up real quick, and now we're going to go to work, and we just go open season. By the way, remember how I started this video? Remember how I started a little bit after I told you about rotating early or about how TCAP died, and we talked about rotating early, right? And I said, be the team that is holding people out of circle, not the one that gets held. Well, you want to see why I tell you to do that? This reason right here. There's nothing this team can do. I mean, we are literally... I've got a 75-round PKM. RPK. The classic PKM in Warzone 1. But I've got a 75-round RPK, and TCAP's got a sniper. There's nothing they can do. As long as we execute here and hit shots, there is nowhere that they can go. I mean, they could get inside of the building, but at this point, it's just too late. It's just too little too late. We're down to a 2v2 right there, and I did a lot of damage. Now, we know that one of them's down at least because TCAP pushed up. We get circle pull, so once again, we're going to go ahead and rotate a little bit early, staying ahead of the circle because we know where they are. He throws us a smoke there to try to get himself out. Double Semtex. That guy can't do anything. By the way, the only other thing that I want to note here, guys, as we finish this game is we finished with 45 as a squad. So TCAP picked up, I think, like 6 during that end game, and I finished with 18. It doesn't matter at this point. We picked up the win. I have an 18 kill game. Would I love to get the 20? Absolutely. But I would rather have an 18 kill win than a 20 kill loss. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take that clutch right there. I hope you found today's video helpful. Make sure you drop a thumbs up button down below or drop a like down below. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.